to another Rise of the 1% podcast episode, and I am G Bass. And on today's Rise of the 1% podcast episode, I got alongside me, my brother, Rise of the 1% podcast co-host, Bri Williams. Yes, sir. Glad to have you on another one.
Same here.
Definitely. Glad to be here. How's everything been coming along for you?
Hey, life is good. It's going to be what it's going to be.
There you go.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, Bri. So I want to start off the episode talking a little bit about Big Bank Black and 6ix9ine.
Okay. We spoke about that.
Because we spoke about that in our previous episode, that this interview was supposed to be coming, and it actually came over this last week.
Okay.
So I actually was able to take a look at some of the interview, and pretty much the interview was done down at 6ix9ine's home in his studio.
Okay.
And it actually came out in the interview that 6ix9ine paid Big Bank Black to do the interview with him. Yeah, he paid Big Bank Black. Wasn't the other way around.
He needed that.
Yeah, he really wanted to do this interview. And he really wanted to do this interview because he feels here in Atlanta, when it comes to rap and hip hop and things around the streets, he feels that here in Atlanta, that the goalpost is moved when it comes to certain artists here in Atlanta, when it comes to these snitch and rat allegations.
Ooh.
Yeah, so he wanted to have a conversation with Big Bank Black. Then Big Bank Black is one of the OGs here in the city.
Okay.
Right. Now, I want to say this in terms of what I saw in the interview. So, first off, 6ix9ine actually was involved with the 9 Trey Bloods up in New York. And when 6ix9ine got into the music business and, of course, started to make money and get fame for the business, he says in his interview that he helped out a lot of the 9 Trey Bloods from a financial standpoint. He was putting them in better positions to be able to take care of their families.
Okay.
Now, he says that the 9 Trey Bloods, over the time of him being involved with them, he even actually did an interview with Blind TV where it's actually footage showing this actually happening. He also says that some of them were sleeping around with his baby mother. All this came out. So once he got locked up, and some of the 9 Trey Bloods got locked up because they had this big case against them, he says that's part of the reason why he cooperated with the government against them.
Okay.
He said because he felt they did him wrong in a lot of different instances.
Yeah.
Now, he brought up the Gucci Mane situation.
In comparing himself to Gucci.
To the Gucci Mane situation, saying, okay, everyone's talking about how Gucci Mane changed Pooh Shiesty's life. You know, talking about a clip where Gucci Mane putting a 1017 chain on Pooh Shiesty, bought him a car, all kind of stuff. And he says, well, Pooh Shiesty turns around and allegedly kidnaps and robs Gucci. He says now everyone in Atlanta and even some other places is giving Gucci Mane a pass for giving a statement to Dallas PD, saying he's a businessman now. But 6ix9ine said, you ought to do the same for me with my situation. He said, I changed a lot of the 9 Trey Blood wives, and look what they did to me. No pass was given to me. And he says that he believes that people are being racist towards him just because he's Mexican. That's what he believes. He believes part of them, I guess, blackballing him, right, in certain parts of hip-hop and things of that nature is because he's Mexican. But he said he feels Gucci is not getting the same type of treatment. He also goes on and talks about Young Thug. They do have a video of Young Thug in an interrogation room some years ago. And it is footage in that interrogation room where Young Thug did tell the people in there, hey, you all need anything from me or whatever the case may be, let me know.
Mm-hmm.
But Young Thug goes on the Big Bank platform, the Prospectus platform, recently, a little while back, and he was telling Bank in that interview that he was just trying to trick law enforcement. He wasn't really going to give up nothing to them.
But he did.
Well, here's the thing. They don't have any proof that he did give up any information or Young Thug has had anybody locked up. There's no proof on it.
Okay.
He just is in the interrogation room basically saying, hey, you know, if you all need any help with anything, get with me. Type of thing to get out, I guess to get out of his situation that he was in at that time. And this was years ago.
Okay.
That they rolled out this interrogation room footage.
Okay.
But he really didn't give nobody up, far as we know.
Yeah.
Right? It's not nothing in the paperwork, no one is locked up but Young Thug.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, he addressed T.I. with the Crime Stoppers situation, which we talked about that as well, Bree.
He reaching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what was rather funny to me, Big Bank said, if I was in Tip's situation at that time, I would have did the same thing. He said, who's locked up behind Tip doing the Crime Stoppers commercial that we can actually identify?
Yeah.
And then 6ix9ine goes to talk about the situation when T.I. was in the courtroom for his man's for lunch. They're unalive.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing there. Big Bank said, who is locked up though behind T.I. being subpoenaed to go to court and just telling them what happened, not even pointing nobody out. Who's locked up? Big Bank Black said, this dude's got over 100 years cumulatively because of your cooperation up in New York. It is documented, right? Like, these people you're calling out, who can we pinpoint and say that they did time because of Young Thug, Tip? Then he also talked about 21 Savage, and that's really discovery. He talked about 21 Savage saying he's a part of the U Visa program, right?
Yeah.
Well, basically, you know how it came out that 21 Savage was born over in the UK.
Yeah.
Right. But of course, he grew up here in the city. Matter of fact, off Glenwood Road is where he started off, our neighborhood, right? Behind 285 Flea Market, those apartments, right? Used to be called Hollow Apartments back in the day. That's where 21 Savage actually grew up at. But pretty much, 21 Savage had got in some trouble when they was talking about potentially deporting him back to the UK.
I remember all that.
And basically, Tekashi 6ix9ine is trying to say that he was enrolled in what they call a U Visa program, where it does say on Google, to be in a U Visa program, you have to cooperate with the authorities in terms of helping solve crimes so that you're not deported, so you can stay here in the States, right? Being that you were a victim of a crime, which 21 Savage was a victim of a crime some years ago. His best friend actually got in a car on Glenwood Road, by the way, on 21 Savage's birthday. And he was a victim at that particular time. And so pretty much he's trying to say that 21 Savage is in his U Visa program, he's working with the authorities. But it's no proof, though, showing that 21 Savage is actually in the U Visa program. But that's what Big Bank Black was saying. So where's the proof? But they have been talking about this, not even just Tekashi 6ix9ine. I've heard other YouTubers kind of talk about this over the years, too. But we just ain't seen no proof of it, right? That's the whole thing. So that's pretty much the gist of this whole interview, man. And I'm going to be quite frank with you, man. It was like Tekashi kept on bringing up these clips on this TV that he had in the background. He's calling it Facts TV. And Big Bank kind of just wanted to have a conversation. Big Bank was like, I really don't want to keep talking about other people's situations, man. I really want to get into your story, right? Let's talk about your situation. I don't really want to have this whole conversation about all these other people. That ain't really my business, if that makes sense, right? So, like, what do you think, Bree, from what you're hearing from me? I know that's a lot to unpack, man, but What are you thinking, man, when you hear these different situations?
Few key points kind of stuck out to me, and it just is what it is. Like he trying to compare himself to those people who really live those type lives.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So you can't. You know what I mean? Now, granted, Thug, Tip, who else? 21.
Thug,
Tip, 21. All these boys now I don't personally know them, but I know the areas they from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know the respect they get from the areas they from.
Yep, for sure.
So I can't say whatever you're talking about in your rap songs you did or didn't. That ain't what I'm here for. But when Tekashi came out, it just was all fake. You know what I mean? It was, I can't
That's what
see.
it seems now. Definitely.
Yeah, I can't see. You got with those people kidnapped you and did all these things to you because they didn't respect you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These people he trying to compare himself to got respect in areas they from. You have no respect from where you from. That's why they treat you like that. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he get with Big Blank back, but because he know Bank got respect.
Yeah.
So thinking that, when you're manipulative, when you're a manipulator, you try to make people see things your way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're going to use any tactic you need to use to try to make yourself look like you need to look.
Yeah.
That's not cool no matter how and people can see through it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Real ones can see through it.
Yeah.
So, before, the other podcast, when we were speaking about him doing this, I said, who better to do the interview than Black? Because Black, he gonna call it out.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Go on and lie. You feel me?
Yeah.
Now tell me why you lied. You know what I mean? So in that sense, when I look at him, I respect to him and all the money he made. Because I feel that during his time in music, it wasn't about, truth and honesty. It was just about money. So whatever I gotta say to get my next show, to get 50,000 a show. Now I get 100,000 a show.
Yeah.
Whatever I gotta say in this rap song to make the kids scream it out too, and for them to pack out my shows, I'ma say it. And that was what he did. All this colorful, crazy ass rap that he was doing. You know what I mean? Whole bunch of
And Black Bri kept calling that out in the conversation, like, man, this is a persona you built.
Yeah.
Right? Because Black was like, when he talked to him off camera, he's a total different person than when that camera come on for that interview. He's an whole different type of person. We understand it's entertainment, but it's a persona.
Yeah. And
Tekashi actually admitted it in the interview, this is how I feed my family. He said that in the interview.
And so to that, do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
But understand what you're saying, what you're saying, all this gang stuff, but it's real. Yeah. You feel me? And you get real time behind it, and you got real people that's involved.
Right.
So, comparing himself to Gucci and Tip and 21 and Thug, but you could never.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could never.
Yeah.
So that part is funny to me. So in the nutshell, he just fake. You know what I mean? Call it what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just because you got money and you rich, don't make you real.
That's true.
You know what I mean? You're fake, and that's just. And if you cool with making your money and being fake, do that. I don't give a damn. I don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't help. You don't do nothing for me.
Right.
But don't try to bring your money over and try to make yourself, some, real or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
And real don't mean doing crimes and things like that. It's just being real to yourself.
Exactly. So,
that's on that part.
Yeah.
And we spoke before about the T.I. Crime Stoppers. That's what he don't get. Cause he ain't that.
Yeah.
If you on probation and these folks say, hey, terms of your probation, do a video.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want 10 videos?
Exactly.
I do as many videos you want me to do. You feel me? So I can leave and go free. I can tell people they see a crime, report a crime. I do it every week. If you need me to, if that's terms of this probation.
Law-abiding citizens too.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So to that, you can't compare the two.
Right.
And, putting people in your paperwork and things like that, that's not respectable. So, I think that's the part too. I think people think that money earn respect. Money don't earn respect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gonna get a bunch of people leeching, and a bunch of people that see opportunity in you.
Yeah.
If you not mentally prepared, or if you not on your, if you're not really about your business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I agree.
Yeah, like kidnapping and messing with. Never, you feel me?
Yeah.
No, I can't see that for somebody that you respect.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
He was probably a cash cow for them. You know what I mean?
Honestly.
And that's just what that was.
Yeah.
So shout out to the Black for that interview and
for sure.
You know what I mean, doing that. I did catch a little of it. You know what I mean? Some clips because I didn't even know it. I didn't know it was done.
Yeah.
I was speaking about that, so I saw a little stuff on Instagram, and I was like, "Oh, it happened."
Yeah.
So it was. So I'm glad that it did, and that it worked out how it did work out. For sure. But you can't compare the two. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
I agree. Great take on that, Bree. Great take. Okay. Well, with that said, Bree, we're going to move on to our next part of the podcast. Let's talk about knowing your business and understanding your business.
Okay.
Knowing your business and understanding your business.
Okay.
So, Bree, let's talk a little bit about Greg Parker and big business, because as of right now, they say an indictment has actually came down with Greg Parker and big business, and I'm hearing that his wife may be in it as well. Pretty much, Greg Parker big business, from what I've seen when it comes to him, is he has a street background, comes from the streets, and pretty much has strong ties in Philly and either Cleveland. But pretty much he got into real estate, just like you, Bree.
Okay.
Got into real estate. And he has this big success story where he took a house that he paid $5,000 for in Philly and flipped it and sold it for $75,000. And that's what pretty much put him into the real estate investing business.
Okay.
And from there, he started just go and buy a whole bunch of property and, of course, do the whole fix and flips. And he says that he became a millionaire by 28 years old by doing this in real estate.
Okay.
Now, what ended up happening over these last years, and I won't even say this started around the pandemic time, and this is when you start to see a lot of these gurus really come out was during the pandemic. Really come out. I don't know how many people I see became coaches and started developing online courses and things of that nature during the pandemic. And I've been in this space, Bree, the online education space. I've been in this space since 2014.
Yeah.
But around 2019, 20, around that COVID, that time, man, gurus was popping out from everywhere.
Yeah.
And I say this, Bree, I made an investment during the pandemic that didn't go well, right? Believing in someone that they was a guru when it came to a certain business model. So I would say, yeah, they was popping up. And I want to say this is around the time he popped up. Okay. Greg Parker, in terms of big business. So pretty much he started to develop courses and doing coaching around real estate investing. He was doing seminars all over the country as well. And he ended up taking it to a place in terms of business where he started to invite others to invest with him into distressed properties, particularly in Philly and Cleveland. And he was looking to do rehabs, fix and flips, and he was promising the investors they'd get their money back with a 20% profit.
Okay.
Right? So what ended up happening was it was a guy that actually was working with Greg Parker Big Business, and he actually invested around $100,000. That's what he said. And he ended up losing most of his money. And he actually recorded a phone conversation him and Greg Parker Big Business were actually having. And he posted the call on Instagram for others to actually see this. And pretty much this opened up a wildfire where a lot of others that invested with Greg Parker business started saying, hey, I invested $50,000 or I invested X amount of dollars and I haven't seen the return either. And then they even have some clips out here where the news has interviewed some of these, what they would consider victims. And some of them said that they actually went up to Cleveland where Greg Parker Big Business claimed that he was making these investments in properties. They had some of the addresses. And they went there and they hadn't seen nothing done on the properties. And they had invested tens of thousands, some of them 6 figures plus with Greg Parker Big Business. So now an indictment has came down on him and they even said his wife and be involved as well. What are some of your thoughts on this, Bree? Being you in real estate, man, you know, seeing this come down like this.
My position, leave other people money alone. You know what I mean? Because leave other people money alone. And I know the topic of this is know your business and understand your business. So to that, you know, we got to hold some accountability to the people who blindly invest their money into a name, into an image, into a persona. You know what I mean? 20, 30, 40, 50,000, $100,000 into a persona. At what point is it accountability on yourself? Now, granted, understanding your business, you never needed him to do that. You did not have to invest money in him.
You did it yourself.
How it works, you start your own business. You know, you can buy a property under your business yourself. If you got $50,000, $20,000, $100,000, you can attack a property yourself. You don't need them. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Me personally, I never want to touch anybody's money. You know how many people want to invest? Bree, I got this, no. I can tell you what to do, but I don't want to even touch an acorn of your money. I'm good here. You know, because when something don't go right, because in all businesses, things don't go right. And so for me, I never wanted that burden of having personal people I know, keep your money, I'll tell you how to do it yourself. I'd much rather you do it yourself. That way you learn how to do it for one. And then you can go out and if you want to show somebody, I always look at pay it forward. If I sit down and tell you, okay, this is how you can do this, you know, do it this way, and you take off and do your thing, and don't take nobody money, just show them how to do it. You just give them the same thing I gave you. A conversation. You know what I mean? And show them and help them. You know what I mean? You don't have to say, gee, give me 20 here, give me 50, give me 100. No, because that's where stuff like this happen. And especially in real estate, because it is it's a market. Sometimes market up, sometimes market down. And when somebody who don't understand their business or understand what they're getting themselves into, you give 50,000, it can not come back. And now you looking like this person screwed me over. When the whole time, well, you don't know what all he was dealing with on this end. Now some people, you know, that's why they got the banks. Go ahead, you got something to say?
Well, I was gonna say, it can be very risky. Now I do want to say this. It's a guy named Julian Gordon. I'm gonna put his name out here. As a matter of fact, I have a picture with me, Julian Gordon, and a couple of other guys, which is one of them used to coach me in business in the beginning stages of my business journey with digital marketing. Julian Gordon actually is a person that became successful. He actually did pull in some different investors. He did buy real estate and did the right thing. Right? And matter of fact, he was one of Jay Morrison, one of his top investors in the Tulsa real estate fund. He invested over $40,000 into it, right? And he was the one that eventually came out and started going at Jay Morrison too. Holding town hall meetings on YouTube and all kind of stuff, right? But he had a group of people where they was buying up distressed properties. I want to say it was down in Louisiana or something like that, and rehab them and fixing and flipping them. And his investors actually was making money. They did well, right? But like you said, Bree, it's still a risk, right? Because we see it with the Greg Parker situation, we see it with Jay Morrison, and so on.
So I would say this. Don't blindly invest into something you see on Instagram. TikTok or Facebook.
Yeah.
If you know me, you know,
Right.
like, you know, if you know me and we personally have a relationship, then that's different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now,
sure.
for the record, not everybody full of BS.
Right.
So, you know, for that, you know, you gotta, of course, you gotta take a risk somewhere.
Yeah.
And that's how everybody view it.
Right.
But understand who you're dealing with.
Yeah.
You know, just because you constantly see it on social media online, hey, that don't mean it's the best thing for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
Now,
I agree on that.
So to that, yes, it is some solid people out here that do the right thing.
Right.
And it makes sense.
Yeah.
But for the ones that, you know, you don't even understand what you're dealing with.
Right.
Because you got some people out here inherit, you know, $100,000, $50,000, and they have no idea about this business at all. No clue about it.
Yeah.
And blindly say, ooh, I've been seeing you on Instagram. Take my money and do this, you know, 20%. You can't guarantee stuff
and
like
also,
that.
You know, and I'm not gonna say I'm against lifestyle marketing because I'm in marketing. I'm a marketer myself, right? I've done some lifestyle marketing over the years, so I'm not gonna sit here and talk down on lifestyle marketing. But you can't just believe everything you see on the internet. You know, I know Greg Parker, big business, that say, you know, he's riding around in Maybachs online and hopping on private jets and got all the designer clothes.
All that shit can be rented.
Right, exactly. So at times that'll entice people in too, right?
But that's on them.
Yeah.
That's on them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you in it just to get you a Maybach into, you know, then wear some Gucci Dior or whatever,
Right.
you in it for the wrong reason.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? If that type of thing if that's what caught your eye to come into this business or that business, you in it for the wrong reason.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
It should be something that you see yourself growing in.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you learn and keep going. So even if you get screwed over, because if you get, I wouldn't even call it getting screwed over learning. Because a loss is not a loss, it's a lesson.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So whatever you try to learn, you're paying for the learning.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So to that, if you in it so you can get you know, get these clothes, these cars, for the wrong reason. Learn something and then keep on going and then help somebody else if you can.
Absolutely.
That's what I say to that. So not all of it BS, but, you know, be careful. You know,
I definitely say that.
you know, the real estate lane is, you know, one of the most, of course they say the most millionaires or billionaires or whatever have some form of real estate. You know, so the thing of it is not just being in this is truly understanding.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How the market is, when the market shifts, when to do things, when not to do things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of times I just sit on the fence because it's not the right time. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, and it's all about timing with a lot of things. So sit down, be quiet, read your books, educate yourself, and then go.
There you go.
Don't just throw your money first.
Absolutely. Time and positioning, education.
Mm-hmm.
I agree 100%. Yep. Do your research and due diligence. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree. And like I said, like Bree said as well, you know, if it's something you can do on your own, everyone pursue it on your own.
Yeah.
Someone else.
Just learn.
At times. Right. Exactly. I agree. So let's get into our next part about knowing your business and understanding your business.
Okay.
So recently, there's been an FTC complaint that was filed against Stormy Wellington.
Okay.
And Stormy Wellington, for you all that may not necessarily know who Stormy Wellington is, she's been voted as one of the top female network marketers
I've heard of
in the world. Okay? So if you're not familiar with network marketing or multi-level marketing, it's pretty much a business model typically where it's some type of product or service being exchanged to a customer base, but also you build a team as well that can actually sell that particular product or service. And you don't only just get paid off of your sales, but you also get overrides on what your team goes out and do as well, right? So that's pretty much what the business model is. So pretty much, just a quick backstory on even me meeting Stormy Wellington to even myself getting into network marketing.
Okay.
I was in network marketing for 5 years full time.
I remember that.
Before it started to rise of the 1%. So I actually met Stormy back in around 2010 or so.
Mm-hmm.
And she was a part of a company at the time, Bri, called Organo Gold.
I remember I heard of that before.
Yeah, they used to sell like coffee and tea and stuff like that. And this company was international. It was all across the world. And a guy named Travis Easy Harris, who I actually was in the entertainment business with, wanted me to meet Stormy Wellington because he actually had joined Organo Gold up under her. And he knew her from back when she was an exotic dancer. Yeah, so she used to dance. They say down in Miami in a club called Club Rolex back in the day, also Magic City up here in Atlanta. Right? So he knew her from back then. So I'll never forget him telling me like, G, I want you to meet this lady named Stormy Wellington who used to be an exotic dancer, but now she's a multi-millionaire selling coffee and tea and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, okay. So he pretty much set me up to meet with her at this club at the time that me and Easy actually used to promote called Club Encore, and it was in Buckhead at the time. Right? And so I met with her, and I'll never forget, matter of fact, walking into Club Encore that day, and she actually pulled up in a Bentley, and she walked in, and it wasn't just me there was some others there too that was looking to meet her. And I never forget, man, she came up to me, introduced herself, I introduced myself, and she asked me, did I drink coffee? And I told her, I said, I'm not really a big coffee drinker. And I'm gonna be quite frank with you. She got a little frustrated. Kind of like, why are you here then? That kind of stuff, right? Like, that's what this meeting is about. Right, starting a business around selling coffee and tea, and being able to build a team around it too. And so I'm gonna be quite frank with you. She's just looking at it like, you know, if you're not looking to be a product of a product, then there's no use to really being. So I'm gonna be quite frank with you. You know, and I also looked at the investment it was gonna take to get into Organo Gold. It was like well over $1,000, stuff like that. I was just like, I'm kind of good.
This before you got into
Yeah, this is before I got into network marketing. Yeah, this was like 2010. I got into network marketing in 2011. So, so I just said I was good on it. But anyway, long story short, the next year I did get into network marketing, but it wasn't that company. It was a telecom and energy company, which I did very well in over 3 years in that particular company. I had a sales team of around about 375 people on my team across the country. We had 1,600 residual paying customers on the telecom and energy services paying bills every single month that we was getting paid off of. I left that company though because it took a dip in the decline in my third year. It wasn't doing as well anymore. So I went over to the travel industry where we were selling travel packages. And also I built a sales team in that company. My sales team was around 800 agents. I went what they call diamond in the company. I was ranked amongst the top 3% of income earners out of 45,000 sales reps.
There you go.
Yeah. Now, getting back to Stormy. Stormy was here in Atlanta 1 week when I was a diamond in that travel company, and she actually hosted an event at the guy who was what I would consider, they call him your upline, the person who's kind of like above you in the business in terms of their position and their rank. He had a facility out in Cobb County in Smyrna, and she hosted an event there for her network marketing business. And after the event, he was like, hey, Stormy want to go out. She want to be shown a good time, you know, while she here in the city, because she had moved back to Miami. So Stormy was born and raised in Miami, but she also stayed in Atlanta for some time, and then she moved back to Miami, right? But I remember her being at this particular event. She had a big old Rolls Royce outside, right? She had all these black women. I mean, it was majority black women at her event, you know, looking at the opportunity to join her network marketing business. And I never forget, like I say, my upline at the time in my organization say, hey, Stormy want to go out tonight, man, and hang out, you know. She want to hang out with the top earners at our company. So we went out to Club Opera, got a section, bottle service, had a great time, man. You know, got a party with her and stuff. And I never forget that night, too. It was another guy there with us. And I'm going to say who he is. He's a big public figure anyway. His name is Daryl Drake. Because he actually had ownership in that facility too, where we used to host events. But he was a part of Stormy's team in their company, which was a company called TLC, Total Life Changes at the time.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a health and wellness company. And he became a millionaire under her leadership, right? You know, so I see Stormy actually creating some success stories. I will say he's not the only one. I know some others that, you know, they was winning. You know what I mean? But here's the thing with network marketing. What a lot of people don't understand at times. You got to put in the work to make the money.
Okay.
Right? Now, some people like to sell this lifestyle dream and all this type of stuff, you know, flaunting stuff on the internet and things of that nature to draw people in and maybe make it look like it's easy.
Yeah.
No. It's not that. Bri, I'm going to tell you this. It was days for years in network marketing. I may have slept 4 and 5 hours a night.
I believe it.
Because I was working so much.
Yeah.
So people saw when I hit top 3% of the company, but they don't know the work I put in for many years. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? I'm on the phone making dials all day. You know what I mean? Attempting to get people exposed to our product or our service. Attempting to recruit people on my team. Right? I'm as well, doing presentations through the week. At times, Bri, we had to use our own homes to do presentations at that time. They don't really do that as much no more. But back then, we had to use our own homes or team members' homes, as you got teams, to do presentations. Right? You're doing webinars constantly. They have hotel meetings every week. You got to bring guests out to get exposed to the business every single week that I had to go to, right? As well as, man, as I started to build my team, I had to travel to other cities and states.
I remember that.
To help my team with growing their business. It was at one point in time, Bri, every weekend I was gone.
Yeah.
I never forget, bro, you know Ralph, who we grew up, grew up with, right? I never forget Ralph calling me maybe 3-4 different weekends over a few months and said, damn, G, every time I call you out of town, you know what, bro? Just call me, bro, when you settled in the city. You know what I mean? You ain't never here no more. That's how much I was going. Bri got to a point, I was flying on American Airlines every weekend. The staff of American Airlines in front of the airport, when you check in, they knew my name. They knew me every time I go up. That's how much I was flying, how many air miles I was using.
Yeah.
And in the beginning stages of me traveling Bri in network marketing, I wasn't making a whole lot of money in the beginning. So I would stay at people's houses that was on my team. I done slept in some of my team members' kids' beds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They sit their kids somewhere else and I stay over the house for the weekend. You know what I mean? All this type of stuff, bro, before they started paying for my hotels and stuff. Later, when I became a top producer and top earner, team members started paying for me to come to the city. But in the beginning, I'm sleeping at team members' houses on the floors, all kind of stuff to like literally go out and build my business. See, this is the type of work it takes. Why am I sharing all this, Bri? Because with this FTC complaint, for one, they're saying Stormy is making a lot. She's made a lot of claims over the years, talking about helping 1,000 people become millionaires. A lot of income claims, you can make X amount of money per month within a specific time frame, that type of stuff. They said that you're not supposed to do that. Now, I'm going to tell you this. It's a lot of marketers guilty of that. It's just Stormy has a big voice. She's a big influencer. She has a big following, especially on Instagram and YouTube and stuff like that. She has a big voice, right? Now, they talk about how it's a small percentage of people making majority of the money, and most of the people that signed with Stormy ain't hardly making nothing.
That what they say?
That's what they saying. Now, Bri, you heard the work that I just said.
How
it was that way within my network marketing business, Bri, where it was a small percent. I had top leaders in my business making, some of them making almost as much money as me. Some of my people that I put in the business. But then, we had a large percentage that don't make a lot.
Yeah.
But they wasn't doing what we were doing. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. So now they filed this complaint against Stormy, where now she can't be making all these income claims and talking about she gonna make all these people millionaires. Now see, she got disclaimers at the bottom of all her Instagram posts now. She can't do lifestyle marketing no more. None of that. Now it's just really about the products that she's promoting, which are health and wellness products. And also, you can still join her team, but she can't do the lifestyle marketing stuff. And she's on probation for 20 years in regards to not being able to make these
20 years
type of claims. Yeah. even if she moves and stuff like that, she has to tell the authority she's moving. If she changes network marketing company, she got to tell them all this type of stuff. Checking in with them.
20 years.
Yep. And they're going to as well be like just constantly zoomed in on her marketing for the next 20 years. And if she messes up, they going to come at her. And it's not criminal at this point. It was just a complaint.
Yeah.
Right? So what are some of your thoughts, Bree, hear some of this now? What do you think, man?
So what Stormy, I've heard her name, and when you start speaking about it, I remember, because we was in contact a lot, you know, during this time. And I remember you telling me this back then. So, you know, far as the organo gold and all that. And so I do remember all of that. And it's funny, you know, thinking about it now.
Yep.
Now, regarding Stormy, I've seen her on social media a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if you're, well, I know you know. The boy Cassius. When Cassius,
Cassius was
So I remember at one point they had a situation. So for me, that's when I looked at her more. Like, okay, my boy Cassius. Okay, cool.
We went to school with Cassius.
Yeah, so
music producer.
Yeah, big Grammy winning.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So don't forget that. So I seen him with, you know, how they were, and I was like, hey, great. That's what had me see her.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, hey, who is this that Cash with?
Yeah.
So to me with all of that, again, knowing your business, knowing your lane, and some of the things that you were saying, the grind that you was willing to put in.
Yeah.
You know, let's say 100 people.
Yeah.
If 10 of them only putting in the type of work you putting in,
right,
that's the only 10 that's gonna see what you're gonna see.
Exactly.
That other 90 are not. Exactly. And they're gonna be upset.
Yeah.
And those are the ones that gonna say, well, she said this and I ain't got that.
Yeah.
But how much time did you put in it?
Exactly.
Whereas you putting 80 hours, you know, people work 40 hours. You putting 80 hours a week into this.
Exactly.
They putting 1 hour a week.
Right.
You're not gonna see the same thing.
Exactly.
Understand your business.
Exactly.
You know, understand what you're doing, and for the most part, people want something for nothing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And people think that this $1,000 or $500 investment is gonna make them multi-million dollars.
Right.
Which, come on.
Yeah.
Like, be for real.
Yeah.
Be for real. It's the effort and the time and the things you put into these things.
Yeah, because the thing is, even when you look at network market opportunities, sometimes some network markets promote, oh, you just spend this amount of dollars, you can make all this money. But in reality, it's really more to that.
Yeah.
Like I just told you, Bree.
Yeah.
All the gas that I had to put in my car, all the presentations, all the flights I had to
Sleeping on floors.
Sleeping on floors, eventually getting hotels, all that costs money.
Some people too good to sleep on the floor.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
How hungry are you for?
So,
you see what I'm saying?
Not saying you better, but hey.
Right.
More hungry.
Exactly. How hungry are you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the whole thing when I look at that whole situation. I'll tell you this too, Bree, with network marketing, because I know it has a stigma to it and stuff. I'm gonna tell you this. I don't talk down on network marketing. Me personally. It was great in terms of personal development for me. You know, I changed my mindset on a lot of things. I did a lot of personal growth. I read more being in network marketing. I learned a lot. You know what I mean? I learned a lot more about marketing, sales, leadership, because I led a team, all type of stuff. So it has its pros to it, and you know, it has some cons to it as well. And what I mean by it is the cons. I tell you this, you know, the last network marketing company I was in, the network marketing side shut down. Right? Not the travel side, but the network marketing side, in terms of like billing team and distribution, it shut down. Right? And when that company was going downhill, I actually had another travel network marketing company offering me a salary up front to bring me and my team over. Right? And I told them no at the time. I said, I'm going to retire from the industry. Long story short, I started to rise with 1%. Right? And I never went back to network marketing, but I did retire as a top runner, a top producer. And that's how I wanted to retire. Yeah. I didn't want to go into another company and we couldn't keep the same track record or whatever. I just said, you know what? We did our marketing industry. We made history in a lot of different ways. It's time to move on. You know what I mean?
And I don't know, I know you remember while you was in that and when things was going, what I kept saying. Gee, start your own. You know, you got enough knowledge.
Right.
You know the business.
Right.
Start your own.
Yeah.
So
sure.
you know how glad I was when she came to life.
Yep. For sure.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
You got enough. You know what you're doing.
Yes, sir.
You got the education.
Yes, sir.
You got the grind.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
There you go. Appreciate it too, bro.
So that's what's funny about the whole thing. Watching it. I got to sit in the stands and watching. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Shit, fuck out. Biggest cheerleader. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Let's go.
Absolutely.
So that's one thing I must say.
I agree. And the last thing I say, and then we'll move to the next topic, Bree, is when they say a small percentage of people in network marketing too make not that much money. Some people get into network marketing too because they love the product or service. They're not just a recruit, right? That's another thing. So I wanted to add that in there because when they look at the numbers at times, they don't factor that in. You know, but yeah, if you're out there making income claims and stuff and people aren't in there to make the money, then you have to know, it's going to take some work ethic, right?
Yeah.
It's going to take some real serious work ethic, right? But I will tell you this, and I'll wrap with this on this topic, is like Bree just said, he told me to start my own. I'm going to tell you this, because I had people who used to ask me even in podcast interviews that I've done, Gerald, network marketing was so great, was making great money, why did you leave, right? For one, Bree just told you one of the reasons why I left. He said start your own, right? Your own business. But not only that, I didn't get into network marketing to make it a career long term. I got into it to just be able to, generate the income, right? Be able to take that income, invest it into something else of my own, like Bree just said. That's why I got into the vehicle. I knew I wasn't going to be long term in that industry for the rest of my years of working. No, this is something I'm doing to create the income, to invest into other things, and then also I was able to put some other people on in the process.
Yep.
That was it.
Yep.
So that's that, man. But besides that, rising 1%, 9.5 years now since I left network marketing. For you all that maybe still in the profession, if you're gonna do it, you gotta put the work in, you gotta go hard, or else, you may want to find something else to do, right? Or start your own thing, like
start your own.
Just said. Right?
Get that knowledge.
What I'm saying. Absolutely. There you go. All right, Bree. So we'll move on to the next topic. All right, Bree. So we're going to get into our next podcast segment. Let's talk about Doctor Who.
Doctor Who.
Doctor Who. So, Bree, over this last week, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant has been trending on the internet.
I've heard about
it. Yeah, I know you was telling me. Yeah, so she's been trending pretty much because she's been on this press run, because she has a new book coming out, and so she's been going on a lot of different big platforms, of course, educating and also promoting her book. Now, this is where she's been getting some pushback, and she's been getting asked questions around her licensing and also doctor being in front of her name. Yeah, because pretty much she's presented herself over the years as like a therapist, life coach, you could say. And people have just been questioning her about her credentials. They say a lot of times, of course, those that have a doctorate or some type of PhD, they go to some type of university to actually be able to get the doctorate or the PhD. They're saying that Dr. Cheyenne Bryant actually went to the University of Phoenix and just got a bachelor's in psychology. They don't really see anything around doctor or being licensed or what have you. And she also went to another university too, but they just don't see where the doctor credentials come or even the licensing.
Dr. Dre.
Yeah, like Dr. Dre. Yeah, that's what they're saying. And so pretty much, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant was saying that the reason why she's not licensed is, for one, she was talking something about the insurance situation.
Yeah.
I was in.
Billing.
Yeah, something around the billing and the insurance situation. In terms of being able to make money, get paid and stuff. She was also saying at times, too, people don't really want out there in terms of their business, that they're going through some type of therapy or something like that. I was here. And she was saying when you're licensed, I'm assuming that information has to be put out or whatever the case may be. So these are some of the things that she was saying that I was hearing on some of these different platforms. What are some of your thoughts, Bri, on doctor being in front of people's names, but if they're not able to really show any type of proof that they actually went to school, to actually be able to put DR period in front of their name? Should they be doing that? You know, do you believe licenses and certifications are important? I mean, what do you think when it comes to this situation?
I think it depends on what your overall goal is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when far as doctor and far as therapist, at this point in my life, I take therapy very seriously.
Yeah.
I did not understand or know, you know, how much a therapist do and can help your life.
Right.
And just for the record, I've been in therapy for, you know, a couple months now, and like I said, I didn't understand it. You know, I'm a black male therapist. We wasn't taught, you know, and then it cost to do therapy. So my situation, I don't care to speak on too much, you know, but I really didn't need a therapist for what was going on, and I can say I've seen a lot of progress in myself and a lot of, you know, how a true therapist really do help.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Truly help.
Yeah.
So for somebody to play with that, you know what I mean? That's not cool to me. You know what I mean? So, you know, in that I do know you can buy a doctorate degree from some of these places online.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah, so you know, for whatever benefit it gives you, hey, congratulations. But for the most part, you know, you got to go through it to be able to help somebody through it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, you we spoken this 6ix9ine shit, but it is what it is. So you got to go through it to help bring somebody out of it, because some people are in dark places. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And life been what it was, and you know, people be confused thinking there's something wrong with them, but the whole time it's a fucking illness. And that's where that therapist can come in and help you to say, hey, no, you got a problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I can help guide you through it.
Yeah.
That's what I see a true therapist can do.
Yeah.
Now, if it is just a therapist in it to make the dollars, hey, you know, that's where it kind of hit me at.
Yeah.
If we just in it for dollars, come on, chill. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So to Cheyenne, Dr. Cheyenne or whatnot, I've seen her online.
Yeah.
I've heard her speaking, and some of the things she was saying was right on the money.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I can't whatever, because you know you can take the streets of hard knocks or you can take the education, one or the other. So to me, if she did take the hard knock road life, then you still know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But to that doctor part, you gotta chill out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because just because you got that, but it's something else over here that you just ain't learned. You know what I mean? Not saying you don't know it, but you ain't learned it how it's been taught, that way.
Right.
And I know it's a lot of holistic doctors out here.
Yeah.
And I was speaking with one of them a couple weeks ago, and they were saying like how they can't diagnose. Like when you're a doctor, if you're not a true doctor, you can't diagnose something.
Yeah, I seen Dr. Cheyenne Bri saying that.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So it's a line, you know what I mean? So yeah, to me is with her, hey, I've seen her on different podcasts, and I've seen her on social media a lot, and I've heard the gems she dropped. She dropped gems.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not against it. I ain't listen to everything she say.
Yeah.
But the things that I've heard, she's been on the money. Okay. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And so to that, when I view that, like what's your overall goal? You know what I mean? Are you in this to just make a bunch of money, or are you in this to help people? And from I think what you were saying earlier, she was promoting the book.
Right.
So all this great shit you done did online and whatever business you got going on, if it truly helps people, great.
Yeah.
But you try to make some more money by putting out this book and this shit becomes your downfall.
Yeah.
That's what a bullshit.
Yeah.
That be the problem. Like, what were you in? Are you in it just to promote the book? Because promoting this book now, woo, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But all the good things you've possibly done for people and have helped people, unlicensed or no doctor,
Right.
all that shit get wiped away by you trying to sell some books.
Yeah.
Was it worth it? You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Was it worth it at the end of the day?
Yeah. I agree with you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's a question to ask.
And again, like I said, I've from the things I've seen and heard from her, she was on the money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for this the tank to put smut on your name, I hate that for you. But hey, the only person know is you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
Hey, that's why I leave it at.
Gotcha. Right perspective, Bree. Right perspective, man. Yeah. It's like this press run, man, the promo run, man, you know, is it turning into something that can potentially become a downfall for you?
Yeah.
You know, was it really worth it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I get you. I
It's
get you.
crazy.
So they're asking all the questions about your credentials and licensing and the doctor and all that. You're not really being able to come back with much with that, you know what I mean, in terms of your responses and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if this was the best decision for
And
you
now
know,
I do want to throw something out there. Dr. Winfrey. Shout out to my therapist, Dr. Winfrey. He's done helped me like tremendously. I don't even think he, you know.
Yeah.
I don't even think he know, and you know, yeah.
Shout out
to Dr. Winfrey.
There you go. Great stuff, man. Great stuff. Okay, Bree. So we'll go on and wrap up with our last topic, man.
Okay.
Let's talk a little bit about those that's 1 foot in streets, 1 foot out when it comes to the streets.
Yeah.
Right? Let's talk a little bit about that because, you know, if we have some that are parents here that may have kids or young adults or what have you, or even those that may be kids and young adults tuning into this particular episode, you know, and they may be in that situation, right? Or if it's parents and kids might be in that situation. Let's talk a little bit about that, man, being 1 foot in and 1 foot out the streets, man.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I do feel it's one of those times, you know, when you become a certain age, I feel, you know, of course, depending on your environment, you know, you have to, you know, in black community, we call it, code switching.
Yeah.
You got to know how to code switch as a young African American in America. You know what I mean? Because if you're growing up in a certain environment and you aspiring to get out of that, you have to know how to cut that on and then cut that off.
Yeah.
So, you know, to that, I see it on that part. But then when you progressing in one lane or you progressing in that lane, it comes a point where you have to decide which way you're gonna go.
Yeah.
You can't go both.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we all know, you know, with streets, dead or in jail, it ain't, you know, it's been said for years. It ain't like this is something new or this is, you know, something that just happened.
Right.
That street life, it's only one way, dead or in jail. So, you know, and unfortunately some people go to jail, then end up dead. And that's, you see what I'm saying? That's that BS. So to me, you know, knowing when it's time to let that go and take the other route.
Yeah.
And it's funny because at this age now, we 40s now.
Right.
So when a lot of people, you know, that I know and came, you know, grew up with that were on, let's say, going on the street route, at 40, they're like, bro, I got my business now. I do this, I do that. I'm not, but it takes real ones on that side to appreciate and respect and understand how sweet things can be on this side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The being able to sleep, you know, and not worry about certain things. You know what I mean? Being able to know that your kid's gonna be okay based off of your efforts this way, not that way, because your kids can't eat off of things you do on that side, off that street side. You know what I mean? Unless you take it, you gotta You gotta swerve around if you in that lane.
Yeah.
You can't stay in that lane and pass down anything.
Yeah.
Cause ain't nothing getting passed down because there's too many snakes over there that's ready to, you know what I mean?
Yep.
But when you do it on this side, you know, you got things where you can take care, take care of things a certain way.
Yep.
So I do feel in life, if you are, straddling the fence, you gotta make a decision. You gotta give this thing 100%.
Right.
Because if you get in, you can't give the street side 50%. You gotta get the street side 100% every time. Yep. So that means, you gotta go 150 to give it, to be on both sides. Because you can't play over there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't play on that side of the fence.
Yep.
You gotta be about what you talking about over there, or you gonna end up there, you know what I mean? One or the other.
Yep.
And that's how I view that. So, yeah.
Yeah.
That's my take on that part.
Yeah, and Bri, we talked a little bit about this on the last episode, and I was saying some of the same things, that you hit on right now. I was saying things similar in regards, even myself, coming up in the music business and stuff like that, and dealing with artists that had street backgrounds, right? Like I never forget one of the artists we had signed with Arias, which was our entertainment company at the time, was 1 foot in, 1 foot out, right? 1 foot in doing the streets, another foot attempting to do the music. And I'll never forget, we was working on a mixtape, Arias' mixtape, and I'll never forget, one day he called my phone, and there was a call from the Cobb County Jail, and literally he was letting me know, he had just got picked up. Matter of fact, he got picked up in Oakland City, but they transported him over here to the Cobb County. And he told me, he said, "Hey, G, them folks just sent me back for 2 years." Right? We working on a mixtape. Money done been put into this particular mixtape project and everything, time, effort,
marketing. Yeah.
And it's like, dang, you know what I mean? For 2 years. So now I'm having to holler out on all the songs and all the video content free my artists. You know what I mean? For 2 years. And yeah, he came out and we made some more music and stuff, but it's just like all that time, 2 years. Gone. You see what I'm saying? And another artist with all years that actually was one of my top artists at one point in time. Had 1 foot in the streets, 1 foot out while doing the music as well. You know what I mean? I'll never forget one night we had a show supposed to be opening up for Young Dro at Wild Bill's out in Gwinnett County. Call my phone. G, I'm locked up. So me and his other manager at the time, we running around trying to get this man out so he can still make this show, because this is a big opportunity for us. You know what I mean? This is the type of situations that go on with that, if that makes sense.
Of course. Yeah.
To even some of our other homies, Bri, just had one that, we grew up with, just passed away this week.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? We're still kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out from what we know.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just passed away this week. You know what I mean? Yeah, so it's to a point, man. Yeah, you gotta make a decision, man. And like Bri said, there's nothing really on that street side, but yeah, jail or unaliving. You know what I mean? That's really what comes over the long term of doing that. You see what I'm saying? It might be feeling good in the moment. Over the short term, maybe you're making your money or whatever you're doing, living a certain type of lifestyle, whatever the case may be, but over the time, yeah, it's not the route to go over the long term.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, and speaking back to that music part, though, with that, like, because I know you're talking about, so that time, like, what you don't it's just if you just an artist with that 1 foot in, 1 foot out type thing, you're not understanding how many people sacrificing things for you to get to where you're trying to go.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? How much money behind you?
Exactly.
How much studio time?
Exactly.
How many marketing dollars for this particular project?
Yep.
And then all of it can go to shit because you you know, you didn't make that change, and that's not fair. And then the thing of it is, when you think about it on a bigger scale, let's say these big labels, you know what I mean? Like, them big labels, they don't care about you. You feel me? They trying to see a return on the investment. You are an investment. You know what I mean? And for us back then when we was, you know, younger, you know, labels, we trying to get you there to that scene. You know what I mean? And it's damn near like training. You know what I mean? Can you do good with this independent label? So that, because this independent label can take you there. You know what I mean? And that's what people fail to realize a lot of times. It's the small local people who really believe in you and really see your potential. You know what I mean? And tell you, hey, chill out on all that. Come on over here. And it's a lot of them that can respect it and then change, and then this label is able to take you where you need to go. And everybody, you know, works well together. But it's so many that it fall off. You know what I mean? It fall off, and it is what it is. One person in particular that hit me though, because I was listening to his music the other day. The boy Dope B with Future. Okay. You know what I mean? I was listening. I like Dope B. Dope B, he made some. Hey, he a great artist, boy. You know, he made some solid music. You know, very entertaining. But you know, listening to his story and then listening to Future, you know, speak about him in songs is like you know, whatever happens to, you know, I ain't got to go into that because that he, you know, it is what it is. But you know, it's just like on. You know what I mean? You there. You was there. Not saying that you not there now. But you would have been there a whole lot sooner. You know what I mean? If you didn't have to step back a minute. So you know, so to that I see and I just hate young artists. Hey, take your time, perfect that craft, music-wise. Perfect that craft. You know what I mean? Let it go. You know what I mean? Step all the way back. You still are who you are. You know what I mean? Exactly. Whatever you did. People respect you. Your respect ain't gonna change. You know what I mean? They're gonna respect you more for doing it that way. That's what it is. You know what I mean? In the long run, you get more respect for going that way than staying that way. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. Because think about it, G. All the OGs are going that way, back. You feel me? Look, I just heard them. You know what I mean? It's, you know, and that's just what it is. It's logic. You know what I mean? Nobody want to be associated with that type of shit for their whole life. I agree. You know what I mean? I agree. You did it. You came out however you came out. If you come out clean, great. Stay clean. You know what I mean? If you got a little dirty, cool. Clean up and then stay clean. That's how I view that. You know what I mean? I agree. I just like to see everybody win. For sure. Same here. No, I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100%. Definitely, man. Definitely. Great stuff, man. Great stuff. Okay. Well, with that said, Bri, any final words before we're ready to close it out? Hey, man, live your life, enjoy it. Hey, you only get one time around. There you go. Don't mess up. For sure. You pushing, man. Do the right thing. For sure. Okay, then. Well, with that said, Bri, we'll go and wrap this one, man. Another great one, brother. Always. Yes, sir, man. And Bri, you can go and let know, you know, if they want any information in regards to what you're doing in real estate, man. Yeah, Cox & Company right here. So, yes, sir. Hey, if you need me, reach out. Hey, go from there. Okay. Information will be in the description of the video, or if you watch it over on Apple and Spotify as well. And with that said, you know, Ben, you got something out of this episode, which is I know you did. Make sure you bang that like button. Hype this video as well so we can get this episode out to more people all across YouTube. Also, make sure if you're new here, you hit the subscribe button, turn on your notification bell. Also, feel free to share this episode around anyone else you feel could benefit. Drop any comments below, right? Hey, did you get anything out of this episode? What are some of your biggest takeaways? You agree with us on certain things, disagree, right? Or you just love the episode. Been seeing some of the comments on the previous episodes. Appreciate you all that do comment, right? We love to hear the feedback.
And, you know, besides that, we're here on YouTube, but we also on Apple and Spotify. The Rise of the 1%, if you like to listen to audio as well, look us up over there, give us a 5-star rating. And besides that, we'll see you on the next Rise of the 1% podcast episode. Have a phenomenal day on purpose.